Hello, it's Kevin here once again for the second time on Tuesday. So, as usual, fair use, teaching, non-kind profits, blah blah blah, because I certainly don't make any profit out of this. However, that being said, so we've got the case notes, we've got the criteria, and let's get going. So again, somebody sent me a letter handwritten when I did say, kind of better if it were typed. But so referral to the surgeon, bronchoscopy, biopsy. Okay, Penny Clifton. So assessment. So the possibility of bronchogenic carcinoma. So referral to the surgeon, bronchoscopy, biopsy. So definitive diagnosis required, it seems. Let's have a quick look at the other notes. Let's have a look. Just get this a bit bigger here. Yeah, I've seen this one before. Mary Clark, married, been smoking for over 30 years, laryngeal. That mining related lung thing, so maybe I won't include that. So sore throat, headache, seasonal cough, augmenting, 7 week. So we've got the cough, shortness of breath, heaviness in chest, etc., etc. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. So let's have a look. Now, just a quick thing. If you've got the DOB, you don't have to put age and occupation. And the office clerk, what's that going to do? Is that going to affect how I, the surgeon, treat the patient? Well, probably not. So I wouldn't include it. Now, for some letters, name, age, occupation is useful. Like there's one letter you might have seen about this guy who's a warehouse truck driver, so he's sitting down all day, and you want a occupational therapist to check out his workplace. So in that case, name, age, occupation would be good. Or if he were like a miner and you suspected lung disease, then name, age, and occupation. But here, because we already have the DOB and we can count, though if it's 1960 and it's, what is it now, 2001, so she would be 61, so I don't know why it says 50. Is that supposed to be, is that a 9? I can't tell. Is that a 9 or a 4? It could be either. Well, we'll see. But even so, 1960, it should be 61. But anyway, so I'm going to refer Mrs. Clark, who features carcinoma. Now, your participation in what? I haven't seen this particular phrasing before. I mean, would be appreciated. You put your appreciation at the end, right? So, audience and purpose, immediately apparent, right? So what's it say? Come on, scroll down, right. So quick, precise, dear doctor, can you do, etc., etc. So clearly expand on later, often near the end of the document. So that's usually, and if you look at the samples, that's usually where people put the appreciation, not at the start, because you haven't done anything yet. And your participation. So you could do, now you don't have to say this is a referral letter. It's obvious that it is. So you could use different verbs. You could say, I'm writing to request your definitive diagnosis of Mrs. Clark, whose features are suggestive of bronchogenic carcinoma. You could do it like that, and that would be pretty concise, I think. So just because it says it's a referral, you don't have to say, this is, by the way, this is a letter of referral. Well, of course it is. It's obvious. So you don't have to do, I'm writing to refer. Because if you do that and that and that, so is this concise? Is it precise? Is it kind of quick? We're reading all this. Your participation regarding our investigation assessment will be appreciated. Wouldn't it be more concise, you know, to simply say, I'm writing to request, as it says, anything that could be left out, concise, clear communication. So wouldn't it be easier to simply say, I'm writing to request your definitive diagnosis of Mrs. Clark, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? So in terms of social history, chronic smoker, smoking since 68, well, that is pretty chronic. I would have put how long. It's 30 plus years. So obviously long term. So maybe not chronic. I mean, in medical terms. Please note, Mrs. Clark is a long-term smoker, over 30 years, 30 to 35 cigarettes a day. Family history. Now, occupational lung disease so it's not hereditary though, is it? Because he's a minor. So it's not. You can include it, but you don't really need to. Mrs. Carter twice appeared 7 weeks. She was experiencing a sore throat, cough, temperature, and body was that aches, along with rhinorrhea, which has improved. I think augmenting. She also she also has or had, because you've got a simple past presented to me twice. When she was experiencing sore throat, so we've got past continuous here. So we've got simple past continuous. She also has, present simple, mild apnea and chest discomfort. Okay, let's see, where's the next one? Okay. On the physical examination or simply on examination? Mrs. Clark's vitals were in the range. Were in what range? Were within normal range, you could say. Or Mrs. Clark's vitals were normal. Just say that. However, on the examination, monophonic wheeze was noted despite of right middle survey, which was observed. Now, right, this is a bit of a long-winded and slightly awkwardly phrased sentence here. So we've got on examination, Mrs. Clark's vitals were within normal range. However, on respiratory examination, monophonic wheeze was noted. Despite of the right middle zone atelectasis and enlargement of right helium, which was observed on chest x-ray, the rest of the associated examination was insignificant. So that could be certainly reworded. You could put all that into a single sentence instead of, and why do we have a contrast word at the start of a sentence? Despite which was, observed, the rest of the examination was insignificant. So you don't have to tell me that. I mean, why do people insist on telling the reader that which is not there? Really, because we want to know what is there. What did you find? So, Mr. Clark's physical examination, respiratory. So, on physical examination, a monophonic wheeze was noted, and right middle zone atelectasis and enlargement observed on X-ray. And that's it. That's all you need. You don't have to tell me the rest was insignificant, because obviously if something was significant, I would expect you to tell me. If something was out of range, I would expect you to tell me. So you don't have to tell me something was normal. What I will know is what was abnormal. Yeah? So I would certainly rework that a little bit. Please note, possible carcinoma and referral are already discussed or have already been discussed with her. View of the above, would be great if you could make the confirmation diagnosis. Okay. So that part of the purpose is good right at the end. So that's where you can put, I would be grateful, I would appreciate, etc. You don't, strictly speaking, need to say it twice. Where are we? Yeah. So you don't need to say you would be appreciated, because that's what you put at the end. Yeah. So I'm writing to request definitive diagnosis on Mrs. Clark, whose features are blah 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 blah. Then you're telling me a story. Okay. Medical history. So put this first. So she's a heavy smoker. That's not judgmental. It's a fact. If you're doing 35 tabs every day for over 30 years, that's a heavy smoker. So family history, okay. Twice. Again, watch your tensors there. And then, where's that other bit? And then we could cut that down a bit, make it a bit, more concise and easy to read. On examination, on examination, monophonic wheeze was noted, and on the X-ray showed a middle zone, blah blah blah, enlargement, etc. Okay. Please note, I discussed this. This was discussed with the patient, blah blah blah, and then in view of the above. Okay. So that isn't bad. That isn't bad. I think we could certainly change a little bit. We could maybe change one or two little things here. I mean, that's not bad. I'm not sure if it would quite scrape a B. I think it probably might just scrape a B. But I think we need to work on a couple of little things here, just a bit of rephrasing to make it clear. Get rid of some phrasing, make it a bit more concise just to be sure. But in terms of English, in general, that's not bad. Not too bad at all. The letter I just reviewed, which was posted in my Facebook group, OET Writing with Kevin, as was this one. That was pretty good. This one's not quite as good as that. There's one or two little things I would probably change, as I mentioned, but in general, not too bad. You just have to watch some of the phrasing and what information you include and how you present it to be as clear as possible. If you can do that, I think you will be fine on examination day. So, hope that helps.